Hey there, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of the Building in Public series. Today is going to be a little bit more of a deep dive, a bit more of a talking video into how I got started with Provide, how I got started, I suppose, in my professional career, and pretty much, yeah, how I ended up doing what I am now, or what I have been doing for the past 4 years. So yeah, to start with, guys, my initial jump into the world of technology and computers, I suppose, started back in 2014 when I was working for a local computer repair shop in the small town of Kindovry. It was like a family friend, Graham. He was awesome at fixing computers. I mean, back then, honestly, I thought he was like a god amongst men. Like, genuinely, everything that he did just seemed so cool to me. And yeah, Graham, I'm not too sure if he's doing it anymore, but back then when he was doing it, he really piqued my interest. He used to fix things like viruses. He used to fix things like, I don't know, really stupid things like Word wouldn't load or something like that. But back then, oh my God, my teenage mind was like, yes, this is everything I want to do and more. Let's teach me everything please. You know, and yeah, pretty much I went from doing that then to going to college to basically study more graphic design concepts and more like admin style tasks. So, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and obviously, PowerPoint, Illustrator, all that sort of stuff. Now, after about a year of doing that, I then ventured into film, which was pretty interesting. So I learned pretty much the basics and the ins and outs of how to make things like short films, how to edit them, and everything like that. So I basically, in the span of about 2 years, got a very basic understanding of how to use things like Photoshop and how to use things like Premiere Pro and things like that, which was, again, pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, things like CapCut and stuff like that exist now, which is what I edit these videos on. So it's, I suppose it was good to teach the basics of it, but to be honest with you, in today's day and age, doing things on your phone is so much easier. And back then, as wild as it was, we didn't really have everything as accessible now, you know. But yeah, pretty much after that, I figured that I was a bit stuck in limbo, really. I didn't really know what to do. I didn't really know whether to go back into computing um, or stick with the film stuff. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go for an apprenticeship this time. And I actually ended up being quite lucky and getting an apprenticeship in the Scarlets. And I was there for about 2 years. And in that time is where I learned to work alongside an actual graphic designer, but a website designer as well. And Kieran, I don't know if you watched the videos, right? But you again were like, Graham, you're awesome, man, and you really helped me learn things. And me being your apprentice probably wasn't easy, but yeah, man, you really did help me. So I appreciate that. And yeah, honestly, the guys at that company were great as well, and it was a little bit sad to see how things ended there, but I'll get on to that in a sec now. And yeah, pretty much in those 2 years, I learned more of how to be a graphic designer, a website designer. And I also did try my hand at the coding side of it, and this leads me on to how I left that company. So I was being trained up to essentially at some point potentially become a front end developer for that company. I'm assuming that's what the plans were for me there, but I quickly realized that I wasn't cut out to be a developer that codes, so to speak. I was more sort of like the build the websites and sort that out. It just felt a bit easier to me, even though it was the same concept. I couldn't quite grasp it back then. And that became very apparent near the second year of my apprenticeship when they were looking to build out I'm assuming it was their front end and back end side of the business, where literally it felt like I was walking, but the other people that were going for the role and everything were running laps around me, right? And it was it was unbelievable. But honestly, yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about that company and everything. They taught me so much. Obviously, I did make some great friends there and everything. So, yeah, that was amazing. But obviously, it taught me back then that I had a lot to learn if I wanted to succeed in that realm of the business. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't do that nowadays, but I do use the principles that they taught me to help build, certain apps or websites, things like, basic things like calculators and stuff. But yeah, it really did help me there. But yeah, that was pretty interesting because around that time, then I actually experienced a bit of a shift with unemployment. It wasn't that long, thankfully. It was about 4 months. But yeah, after that, I went to go work for a website design company in Kindovry. And yeah, that's where I really sort of honed my skills as a website designer, understanding client projects, how to build the websites, how to manage projects, and everything like that. And we worked with some really big companies there, which was really, really cool. But again, unfortunately, in my professional career, the way that came to an end as well was really interesting. And it's the reason today why I wear this logo on my chest, right? Pretty much, long story short, I kickstarted Provide off with a very, very simple website. Nothing much, just literally, it was a passion side project at that point. And yeah, pretty much what ended up happening was I launched that website without really knowing what like indexing does or anything like that to the SEO level, right? And I think what happened was, now again, I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this is how Provide got discovered. Was the company was, I'm assuming, doing some like competitive analysis, going through like competitors and who to watch out for and stuff like that. And somehow Provide came up. And basically, what they did was they went on the website, they found the phone number, they phoned that phone number, and I remember it clear as day because the way the desk setup was. So I imagine I was sitting in front of the director of the company, and I was on my side of the desk. And I remember it clear as day. He phoned it, and obviously my phone was ringing. He sort of stopped, looked at me, and then was like, "Ah, okay." And then, yeah, pretty much, I didn't think anything of it that day. I kind of had an inkling that something happened, but then the day after, I came in, sat down on my desk as normal, got my laptop out and everything all good. And then yeah, they basically said, look, you've got a choice. You can either close down Provide, or whatever that little side project was, and carry on working here, or you can leave through that door right now. And funny enough, I left that through that door, and here I am today, pretty much. Now, obviously, do not get me wrong. Um, I am thankful for everything that company did. They really taught me the ways of tons of things, how to build websites, how to manage clients and everything. And it gave me a lot of good, real world working experience in that sense. And yeah, pretty much I left that company then. And I think for about 2 or 3 months after that, during, I believe it was Christmas, period of Christmas, I had, luckily enough, found a job in Bridgend doing a service desk job for the government, which was pretty interesting, or government like contractors or whatever. And yeah, I mean, that job was pretty cool. I was there throughout COVID and everything like that. I met some really, really great friends, some people that might even see this on like LinkedIn and Facebook today. And those guys were absolutely awesome. Don't get me wrong, the work that we done there and everything was stressful and was, from the moment you got there to the moment you left, just 100 miles an hour constantly. And obviously, again, I met some really great people there. And one person that really helped me, especially build this business out as well. His name's David or David, I call him, right? And honestly, he's up in London now, right? But that guy, oh my God, without him, I don't know where Provide would be, especially in the early stages, man. He saved my bacon, right? But yeah, obviously I was there at Provide. I was there at the other company building out Provide bit by bit. And it got to the point where I had actually had to make a choice because I was juggling client requests and calls and everything like that while having, the customers of that other business in my ear talking to me about their tech issues and everything. You know what I mean? So I really had to make a choice like pretty quickly. So In February 2021, I decided to incorporate Provide as an official business. I decided to save up around about £3,000 for savings for the company. And I was like, listen, right, I've got 3 months. If it doesn't work, then I'll go back to a regular desk job and I'll basically forget it ever happened until I can build it up properly and sustain myself. And as soon as I left in April 2021, never went back. And I'm here talking to you guys through this phone right now. Right. And that was almost 4 years ago that the company was incorporated. And yeah, what a 4 years it's been. I'll be honest with you. Right now, listen, right. I'm not a multimillionaire. I'm not even like, I don't even have like £10,000 in my account. Right. But the fact of the matter is, right, I get to do this every day. Right. Today is Saturday. It's nearly 4 o'clock and I'm still working. Right. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning and I wouldn't change it because honestly, I love doing this stuff. I love working with my clients. I love meeting new people and I love building relationships. Right. And honestly, this is one of the best things I think I could have done for me at the time. Look, I'm 26 now. Right. I started Provide when I was 21, 22. Right. I've learned a lot and I'm still learning a lot. Right. But I think, yeah, through this content and through being a little bit more personal with you all, I think you'll start to learn and understand who I am as a person. And hopefully, you know, yeah, hopefully you just get to see that side of it. Obviously, if you're like, listen, we don't want to, we don't want this content or whatever, that's fine, right? But obviously, it's good for me to pass this on to people. Good for people to get my background, get my story, and then hopefully, who knows? You might see this in a few years and say, "Wow, he really went far." you know. But yeah, guys, look, listen, that's it for today. That's episode 8. Obviously, we probably won't do much content like this going forward. We might do it every now and again, but yeah, I am really liking doing the time lapse content and everything. But I thought today, you know what, I may as well talk to you. So yeah, have a great rest of your weekend or whenever you're seeing this, and I shall catch you all soon. Thank you. Bye for now.